Hello and welcome back to Adventure's Edge, Heroes of the Vale, episode 21.
Level 3 edition.
The level 3, exactly.
Bigger, better, badder.
Yeah.
Feedier.
We've got more feet.
Now with more feet.
Oh, God. Not that way. Not that way, listeners.
Hopefully everybody is excited to come back with a level 3. I know I am. To see you guys.
Yeah, it should be very exciting.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah,
one step closer to actually be turned into an animal. Druidic, wild shape.
I'm like,
unlike some other games out there, to wait till level 4 to wild shape.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. Well, I could just have somebody with polymorph and we'd take care of that right away.
Yeah, it's not the same though. It's not my choice.
Okay. Well.
Okay, well, that's nice. And?
Well, level 4 is probably a distant dream right
yeah,
now.
I bet.
I mean, D&D 2nd Edition made you wait until level 7.
Yeah, I don't play D&D 2nd Edition.
That's true. I don't know if anybody does. I've never seen.
There's a big following.
Is there still?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm on one of the old school groups and people talk about
With
it.
like Thaco.
Oh, yeah. I have a t-shirt that says Thaco's life.
Yeah.
It has been a long time since we played that.
Yeah. I remember playing it, and then your different races were also your class. So you couldn't be like an elf
That was first
fighter.
edition.
Well, I think Advanced had that too. You could just be an elf. So, and then you could do magic, and I remember that.
We actually tried playing it, like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
One of our friends at the time he refused to play anything beyond 2nd edition. So we gave it a go.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, moving on. We're moving on. Moving
Sorry,
on.
I brought it up.
Oh, well. Hey, welcome back to episode 21.
All right. And yay,
Excellent.
now we're all 3rd.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
Ooh, does anybody want to, I don't want to spend a ton of time, but is anybody excited about a specific power you actually do have that you want to share? Or you want to?
I am. I get advanced armor training, so I can wear my armor better.
Nice.
I'm very excited about that.
Finally fits right. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. I don't have to take a -1 penalty when I swim, which is very exciting.
Tommy's like, I can now actually wear my armor when I fish.
I can swim in my own. There's something so wrong about that. I don't know. But
Yeah.
good for you.
I can actually swim just as well in regular clothes as I can with my armor on now.
That's great.
Which doesn't seem like that should be possible.
No.
Well, but probably not you're not wearing super heavy armor yet.
No, I've got my wolf leather armor or my warg leather armor.
It's like a second skin.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But of course, once that
So
fur gets
gross.
wet, then it gets heavy though.
No, it doesn't matter.
No. The rules
See?
say it doesn't.
I have to add
can't
something
take it away.
about wet dog.
Yeah, it
Just
says
the
nothing
smell
about the
is still
smell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shake
so
it
I'm
up.
excited about that.
I actually watched some YouTube videos of this guy. He tries to do things in plate armor that, to demonstrate what you can and can't do. And there's a whole swimming episode.
Yeah.
And
Is he able to swim with plate
sort
armor?
of,
Yeah.
sort of not. I think he demonstrated pretty well that you're going to drown, but you can, with a lot of effort, he stayed afloat.
I think we need to question what his base swimming aptitude is before we judge whether or not.
Yeah, maybe he's going to sink regardless.
What was the base swimming skills of a knight? Probably not great.
It doesn't matter. Tommy is a fisherman.
Yeah.
Like his base, or with this guy with the armor?
Well, that's,
Was he a good swimmer or not?
Tommy can swim. That's been vetted. That's canon.
Make it show.
Hi, listeners. You didn't know that you signed in for Swimming with Knights today, but
That's what squares are for.
That sounds like a niche podcast.
That's
Swimming with
I hope
knights.
it's a real targeted audience there.
But I don't know. Okay.
That's my exciting thing that I'm excited about.
Okay, who else has something? Moving on.
See how I closed that up for us?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
no problem.
Just a couple of spells. I get to throw rocks and stuff. Well, not throw rocks, but call them upon people and make piles of rock and hurt people.
Oh.
Okay.
And then picking a feat is just really, yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And until I get said, you shape, so I just got alertness. So my proficiency is even better or my skill check on perception is even better.
Okay. I mean, that's a good
And
choice.
sense motive. Yeah, I feel like it's in a good spot, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking ahead. You see, for my feats,
I mean,
I like to get
yeah.
out of some things, me as a builder, and just like a character builder is like I like the things that make sense in my mind as well as the players. Like perception's a very commonly used skill. So I like to have it very high.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty straightforward.
I like it. No, that's good. It's good.
Nothing more than that. Another couple tricks up my sleeve as far as spells go with rocks and stone and whatnot. You'll find them later, hopefully.
I can't wait to see them employed against my
Your speedy rats.
speedy rats. The next foe of choice.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
Got some spells.
Got some spells?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
More death from above.
I always tend to level up based on narrative. So things that Trunk has already been trying to do or has been doing, he can now do better.
Nice. Did you pick up? What'd you get for your feet, or did you?
That's a great question because
Still.
Trunk doesn't know what he's doing yet.
yeah.
Definitely isn't my fault in the fact that I've been way too busy this week to do it.
No,
Not at
that's
all.
fair. There's a lot of analysis paralysis. I had the same problem in our other game. I had like a 30 feet list planned out for my character, and I'm like, what do you pick next?
Yeah, I managed to look through the not small amount of spell options and narrow it down to 27. And listeners, I don't get 27 new spells. I asked for you. I asked for you.
In time, perhaps. Okay, well, I am looking forward to seeing all of you employ your new skills, abilities, and spells against this challenging episode. But before we jump to that, does anybody remember how we got to where we're at?
Well, yes. It started with it started because we had that fascinating conversation with Salvo, and so we decided, based on that conversation, that we were going to head straight for the Goblin camp. So off we headed, and y'all can jump in at any time. And so we started down the river, and we passed by some river caves, and we thought, not now. But then we saw these big statues. And of course, because they were big stone statues, we had to go check them out.
Tommy demanded.
I was very specific.
He was very clear about his desires.
We did find some information, or a little bit more. I mean, I'm just, there was some Earth Elder stuff going on there, and I think it was perhaps very poignant to the bigger picture here. And yeah, they're stone statues. It's kind of like my thing. So thank you for playing along.
So we think that they were giants.
Mm.
And yeah, they had the symbol of the actual Earth Elders on them. A runic symbol.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what you said.
The Earth Elders. Yep.
But the only thing up the nose was a barn swallow nest.
Mm-hmm.
Very disappointing. But then we came across the spring, a large rock with the spring that was feeding what was left of the river. And then beyond that, it was all dry. And there was no river fairy there. It was very disappointing.
Yeah, it is true. It was. quite a disappointment.
Who would have thought this world was filled with so little magic and wonder?
So we decided to camp by the spring for the night, but there was really scary woods at the top. So that was not good. But we decided to camp there anyway. And then during the watches, there was lots of other scary things, including a dire bat with a rider. And then once I was asleep, there was other scary things like
wolves. Some very big wolves, very close. Corda did not like it, and neither did I. Did not approve of such scariness.
Did not approve.
Trunk slept very comfortably all night.
All night. Okay. Well, are we good?
Well, and then the next morning we got up and we started heading up the river some more. And then that's when we realized exactly how close we got to the goblin camp, and we're glad that we stopped where we did, because we were almost right on top of it.
Yep, we would have been camping at their front door, which would have been
awkward.
Yes.
It would have been awkward. That was a whole thing. And it's fun when you're holding the cards and you're like, what are these people doing? And where's this going to go?
We were being adventurers.
Yes, you were. You were being adventurers. Well, yeah, so we will pick up then where we left off, where you guys had broke camp and walked to the old willow tree. But as you approach this old willow tree, Darun, you hear a voice emanating from the walking stick in your hand.
What is it saying? I stop and look at it, and what is it saying?
Well, good morning, my boy. I hope you slept well.
Oh, it was a bit rough of a sleep. There were some... Well, what?
Sorry. just what?
It took me a second.
Yeah, you got me.
It was my alertness that allowed me to realize something was wrong.
you got me. Good job.
We all look at David, used to him talking to himself, but now surprised that he's talking to himself.
Well, you actually all do hear it.
Oh, we all hear the stick. Okay.
It is audible.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Even better.
Yep, I knew we should have snapped that thing.
I told you that I wasn't hearing things. What, you can talk?
Well, of course I can talk.
Is his mouth moving?
No, it's not.
Thank
No.
God.
The eyes do glow slightly, like a little magical aura. I couldn't help but eavesdrop just a bit last night while you were resting, and it seems like you might be in a position to be entering into some goblin territory. Oh, by the way, this is your dearest colleague, Perlman Bibwither, at your service.
Perlman Bibweather? Did I get that right? Perlman
You've forgotten my name already?
Bibweather.
Bibwither.
Bibweather.
Bib Wither.
Wither.
It's the...
He was the beggar wizard.
Oh, no. Yes.
What are you doing here?
Well, I am not actually there. I'm just observing. You see, as part of my research, I have to gather information from all over the area, and I have a particular interest in some goblin tribes, and it seems like you might be headed into the heart of one.
Muffle him.
Put
a sock over him.
So who's the strong... You ever... what kind of wood is this? It's like oak? Is it breakable? No.
I mean, it is pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
It's a nice walking stick.
I don't appreciate you eavesdropping or being a peeker.
He was peeking.
Oh, don't worry about that. I didn't see anything wholly inappropriate. You see, as part of my research, again, I'm looking for information on the goblin tribes, and I'm willing to offer you a generous sum of cash. Were you to take specific notes in your adventure?
Okay. I'm listening.
Well, I need information specifically on the layout of their domain, but also if you do have the opportunity to interact with them in a non-violent sort of fashion.
We're not making any promises here.
Yep.
I mean, none at all we can't kill?
Oh, no, you can kill all you want. I just hope, I really am looking to see if there's some information on any unique variations of goblins. If you have the opportunity to ask them about that, there's rumors that certain goblins are born with unusual abilities or powers, and I've been searching for quite some time. Rumor has it that at least one of these goblin tribes possesses such a member, so if you could find out anything about goblins with unusual powers and what those might be.
So Zinnia is going to fly over to the stick and try and wrap her hands around it to see if that muffles his.
Are you choking?
I know. I just want to see if I can muffle the talking.
Oh, sure. I don't think that it works like this.
Well, I'm trying.
Well, I mean, if you do put your little hands over the face,
Yes.
I mean it muffles it some.
Okay, so take something and wrap it around it so he shuts up.
Yeah.
Cover his eyes.
I mean, yeah.
Mr. Bellythump, or whatever your name is, you need to be quiet. We're trying to sneak in. So.
Okay, right then.
Yeah, we'll do the best we can. Okay. You have my word, and then we'll take as copious as notes as we can. But we need you to be very quiet.
Are you still muffling him?
No, I will get face to face with that little wizened wizard face on the stick.
You hear him, whoa.
And I will say,
If you say anything, I will slash those wooden eyes right off this stick.
Oh dear. Well, quite all right. Mum's the word. But like I said, if you do collect some notes, feel free to deliver them to the
Hush!
parcel
Hush!
service.
I mean, I have to ask at this point. We went from, I think he's kind of a delightful little prankster, to you guys wanting to rough him up for pretending to be a beggar. And now we're okay with his little portable eye face just accompanying us wherever we go.
I'm not.
No.
I'm thinking
No, I'm
river
not.
time.
That's
Goodbye to that
exactly
stick.
what I'm
Okay,
thinking.
we can stop now. Number one, it's my staff, and it makes me walk faster. Okay, not all of us can have a stride like a giraffe. It's an animal, trust me. In this world somewhere.
Look, I don't need you to go making up new animals that will help you walk faster. I'm saying you've got a spy that's maybe helping you inch forward a little bit faster. I don't know that it's really worth it.
Okay, well,
I'm sorry, Dayrune. I kind of agree.
I don't see why we can't just take some leather and wrap it all around that top part.
And turn him
I'm
into a
fine with
torch.
it.
That's
No.
what I was thinking.
No, not
We're
torch it.
right there.
No,
Me
no,
and
no,
you.
no.
So close.
No. Just so he can't see, he can't hear, he can't talk.
Because his head will be on fire.
How do you know that the eyes and the mouth really matter that much?
That's
More
true.
importantly,
That's because I put it over and it was muffled.
I mean,
We can certainly try.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I'm willing to try.
All right.
And then it doesn't take away the
If it
walking magic.
impedes our adventure anymore, I am okay with turning it into some campfire.
So I've got those leather straps that we picked up in our last adventure.
Sure.
And I would like to modify the face to have a nice leather handle across its eyes, across its mouth. Basically, so it's nice and thick. So if he decides that he wants to talk, it's nice and muffled. And if he does use the eyes, he can't see out of them.
Okay.
And I think I collected quite a bit of those. So
Yeah, it would not take too much. So, all right, you do a quick.
There's always a catch with magic stuff, isn't there? Just can't be fun.
Not always, but often.
I think it's quite fun.
Shut up, Pearlman, right? Pearlman.
all right.
Bibby Wither.
So
I just exchanged looks with Tommy that, in my mind, say, next time Darune's taking a nap, he'll wake up without a stick, right?
you
I'm
just
not
have
okay
one
with this.
extra torch.
No, see, now you're, now.
I didn't
Now,
say words. I looked at Tommy.
I know you well enough. Now you're bullying Dayrune.
No, that's not it at all.
He wants his staff and just
It's fine. It's fine.
We came to a good compromise.
I think so.
Like I said, If it puts us in danger, I'm willing to let it go.
There you go.
So I would like to continue to the goblin camp now.
Yeah, like let's
Let's do that.
All right. Well,
I would like to be stealthy as we kind of go through this area. So I'd really like to keep an eye out, and I would like to have a weapon out because I know we are very close.
It's a good call.
Yeah, it seems like something that I should do.
If you don't mind, perhaps we can let Corda go ahead and get a good scent just in case, and she can warn us.
Fantastic idea.
Okay, then you take your adequate preparations, and it sounds like move slowly towards the large willow.
Yeah.
So as you approach, you can see there is a large weeping willow on the bank of the river, spreading its branches over the dry riverbed. The tree is visibly drooping from the lack of water. Scars and cut marks mar the trunk and branches of the tree where the goblins have chewed on the bark. The goblins have also decorated the tree trunk with all sorts of horrible graffiti and carvings. And a rope swing hangs listlessly from one of the branches.
Horrible as is like the imagery is quite perverse, or horrible as his quality is lacking.
I'm imagining it is a combination of those two things.
Sure.
They would be written in Goblin, but yeah, probably just very crude graffiti combined with people maybe carved their names in Goblin and then created ugly little faces and
Okay.
just
And
whatever.
this is on the bark,
Yeah,
on the willow tree.
on the willow tree. Yeah.
Okay.
So Zinni would like to do a knowledge or something. Like, why are goblins gnawing on the bark?
Was quite. I was thinking that as well.
Like, is that just a thing that goblins are known to do? Is this some kind of goblin vitamin deficiency? Like, what is up with this?
Give me a knowledge local.
A knowledge local?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that's a nat 20.
In your vast experience with goblins, they use that to clean and sharpen their teeth.
Okay. Are they like rodents where their teeth just continually grow?
They're not. No, they're
Okay.
definitely humanoid, but they're not notorious for their hygiene.
Okay.
I mean, they're not savages, but they're not. I mean, they're chewing.
So they gnaw on trees to clean their teeth.
Well, at least this tree.
Okay.
Is there any? This is going to be very silly, but is there any like specific drawing that I could actually take the bark off, like carefully and retain the drawing or the etching? I'm thinking some posh person would pay a lot of money to have an authentic goblin drawing,
Wow. Tommy's like an entrepreneur.
like a businessman.
What else can we loot? How about tree bark?
Hey, if I can make a solid coin off of it.
I mean, I will support it. So
Oh, excellent. What do you want me to roll? Linguistics, right?
linguistics.
Well, it is kind of a language.
Well, you're just basically carefully.
Yeah,
removing the
stripping
bark.
bark off to retain it.
I mean, I would say that would be more of you could do survival, or if you had a craft wood carving sort of skill, but just
Profession sailor. Got it.
It can't
Okay.
be. It can't be that difficult.
It can be that difficult. I got a 7.
But it's
Oh no, I think that botched it. I'm sorry.
I rolled it.
He just went right
Just
through
like
it.
right through diagonal. Like,
Right through the goblin's head.
well, I mean, I'd say you got most of it, but it's peeling bark off.
yeah.
I'm actually really not familiar with willow tree bark, and I'm not going to pause long enough to look that up. But
Sure.
I don't know if it comes off in strips or if it's like small pieces. So
Yeah.
we could have our nature fact of the day. How is
All right.
some riveting content we provide?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mark that down on my character sheet.
Okay, so you've got a
Willow Goblin.
oh goodness. All right. So while Tommy is removing the goblin art from the tree, Daerun, what do you do?
I am basically, I'm going to watch him, but I'm going to like keep my eye out. And me and Corda are like on high alert. And I want to kind of be in front of him. So like, like defending him in a way, or like just like being around him while he's doing that.
Okay.
He got me on alert, once he pulled his weapon out. I'm like, oh yeah. So it's like I've had my coffee this morning and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
So-
You're amped up.
Yep.
Trunk,
Just hang on, wait.
observing the antics, looking around.
Mhm.
Zinnia.
Well, Zinnia, was examining the tree bark and trying to understand the whole gnawing thing, and then is just watching Tommy try to peel the picture off. That's pretty much where her attention has been focused.
Okay. Okay, well then, he spends a few minutes, and that should be good. Now, what do you want to do? So you've got your art. You're looking
So-
around. You're standing by the willow tree.
Yeah, is there and I apologize, I may have forgotten this. Were we looking for a cave by a willow tree?
So-
Yes.
Yeah, so now we're supposed to look at the banks
Okay.
near the willow tree. Yeah.
So once that willow tree is been stripped of its valuable picture, I will examine the bank and see if we can find an entrance to a cave. Again, I would like to do this stealthily. And I would like to look out in front of me too, because I don't want to stumble upon a goblin trap.
Okay. Well, it wasn't the river bank. It was the walls, the valley walls.
Yes.
So it's it's not very far. It's like,
Sure.
all right, I think it's about 100 feet. So yeah, so basically, because you're on the west side of the dried up river, and there's a collection of trees there, and then beyond that is the tall river valley side. At this point, it's almost kind of like a cliff face, which is about 150 feet tall.
Okay.
So you can basically make your way in that direction if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Daerun, since you are all looking around and you're being very alert this
Corda's
morning,
nose is in the air.
I will just say that you do casually notice. So there's a lot of tracks in this area. Like this is, I mean, you can see this is in a spot where the goblins they spend time.
Okay.
So if you wanted to try to track them, you
Yeah,
could do that.
that's Corda and I are going to go track. That's what we're doing.
Okay. So yeah, you do determine that the tracks lead basically through the trees towards the wall to the west, and you can kind of just follow a footpath.
Okay.
So are you guys? Is the map showing up?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure. So yeah, you guys can basically start making your way west on the map through the trees. And if you want to you don't need to make a survival check yet, but you guys want to start moving your way.
Do you want me for Corda or just me? Or together?
Oh, no, you would just be making a survival check to just observe the tracks.
Yep, that is going to be a unnatural 20.
Okay.
I'm sorry, a 22.
All right. So as presumably you all begin kind of walking your way through the patch of trees, you do see that this has been occupied for quite some time, and that a lot of trees have been cut down here. And probably one of the very first things you might notice is about 50 feet from a little bit west of the willow, there's like a large stump that you see a woodsman's axe still like just stuck in the top of it.
Okay. Does it look like, first of all, does it look like these logs are being like drug or anything like that? Like Is it just footprints, or is it like other things that look like are on the ground, like wheels and cartwheels and things like that?
You would guess that they fell the trees here and then dress them and chop them up and the wood that they want. They are probably just carrying by hand into their caves.
Okay.
I mean, this is not stripped bare. They seem to have taken some care to keep a degree of camouflage in the area.
So I'm going to have Corda sniff the axe. Looks like we've got perhaps someone left their tools behind. I'll have Corda sniff it and get a good scent. And then, this might sound silly or not, but does the handle feel warm?
Warm.
Like
Recently
used?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I mean, it doesn't look like anybody has been working here today. And yeah, there's no sign of recent activity on the tree. So maybe somebody that's just where they keep it, or they forgot it here or whatever. Sure. But somebody left their axe here.
Should we take their axe?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. Tommy, you go to pull it out and you realize it's like really rammed it in there good. And maybe that's why it's there.
Sure.
So give me a strength check to pry the axe out of the tree.
That would be a 6.
Somebody was very exuberant in their chopping. So it wiggles ever so slightly, but you're going to have to.
All right. Well, I would like to try again.
Yeah. So you can just put your back into it, put your legs
into
it.
That's a 15.
All right. All right. So yeah, you kind of wiggle it back and forth and slowly lodge it loose, and then comes out. And yeah, you can see that it's a decent quality, if not well-maintained, woodsman's axe.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's as exciting as it's going to get, but yeah, actually, you think that was pretty much the required DC to pull it out.
Oh, good.
It was really stuck in there.
All right.
So you can add an axe to your inventory and continue.
Free axe.
Let's just hope this one doesn't start talking to us.
Maybe it will.
Okay. Then, Darun, it looks like the tracks just continue west towards the wall there.
Okay. We follow the tracks.
All right. You follow the tracks. Give me a perception check.
It's a 28.
All right. Trunk, I'm gonna bring you up here, unless you were specifically hanging out behind.
No, I'll keep up with people.
Okay. So, Darun, you notice that the tracks, you notice a trap.
A trap.
Yep. So basically the tracks, there's this like well-worn path that somebody spent a little bit of time to make it look like the path goes straight between these two trees. But you realize that that most people actually are sort of making a little loop around at this one particular spot. And they did a very good job in concealing it. But you realize though that that there's a like a little like a pit, like a little covered pit there.
Okay.
And yes, an unwilling person walking down that path would have probably stepped in it. But you could point it out and easily divert around it.
Definitely. Could I disarm it, or is there anybody who could disarm it or trip it?
Well, it's actually not so much disarming. You could uncover it. It's like a little covered. So if you want to just use your walking stick, basically, and just
I'll talk the talking end too.
The talking end.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you see that it's basically they've dug like a 3-foot sort of circular hole, and it's only a couple feet deep, but there are, once you look inside, some wooden spikes, and you think stepping in there would probably have been very, very painful.
Tell him he's going to get a close-up look of a goblin trap.
Do you like what you see? I interpreted it for you. This is a goblin track. Are you taking notes?
No comments from the staff. All is quiet. So you uncover the trap.
Yep.
So at least the next person who happens to
Yeah,
be
there's no need for
wandering
this.
up here may not step in it.
Is it? Do you think it's for catching animals or just people? Is it like a defense? I know that's probably
That is a very good question. You think it could be a mixture of both?
Okay.
I mean, a small to even slightly larger size animal would probably be hobbled, or I mean, a small animal that could have fallen through there. And
Do we pick up any of these wolf tracks that I heard last night?
So if you look around,
Mhm.
I'll just let you keep your survival check. You do see some, but not recent. Like if you spend a minute and kind of comb around, it doesn't sound like the wolves come through here, but you do see that at least some point. Yeah, maybe they did, but definitely not recently.
I just
Definitely not
know
last
my
night.
History, if I've had any knowledge of wargs, the goblin warg connection, that was kind of the thinking behind that.
You know what? Actually, give me one more survival check now that you were actually, since you did look that up.
That's going to be a 16.
Since you're up pausing and you're spending a little more time examining it, the paw prints that you do find here are very large, like unnaturally large.
Bigger than dire wolves, or would I have not run into such things yet?
I don't know that you've run into a dire wolf, but you would imagine that they are in fact dire wolves versus wargs.
Sure. Okay.
So as you may recall, having faced down
Sure.
a warg, the warg is only marginally larger than a regular wolf. They're just smart.
Right.
Whereas like dire wolves are
massive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you're probably not dealing with sentient wolves. You're dealing with the big, brutish, dangerous, toothy wolves.
Just dire wolves. No big deal, guys.
Great. Super excited.
Dangerous in a much different, different way. Okay, then you can relay that information to your colleagues and continue on to the wall there, where you see the tracks lead up these bushes here. I'm going to start pinging the map about another 40 feet. All right, so you continue on and you see, there's some thick, like a row of bushes that are growing up against the rocks there. It almost looked like they've been intentionally grown there. Like it's like this dense, hedge almost.
I'm going to stick the staff in there. Now that you gave me the idea, it's quite a good idea.
Okay, so you...
Yeah, I'm going to kind of move them open to see if there's some kind of entrance or what, Like, are there footprints going to it?
There are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to point it out to the whole party if no one saw. I think this might be an entrance somewhere. It looks a little bit out of place.
All right. Well, you part the bushes, and you do see just beyond there's a cave opening, and I'm gonna just put your character right there, and we're gonna see if dynamic lighting works today. So I'm gonna drag you in.
Drag me in.
Drag you into the dark.
Wait.
And do you see?
I see 2 feet in front of me. I don't think. No, I don't see any dynamic lighting on. It is a fun thing to try to figure out.
We're doing this. This is happening.
It is. I've tried so many times. I mean, I can see it. It might be like a dim light setting that you have, like 10 feet or whatever, but that's about what I can see.
Oh, because you probably need a token emits light, right? Oh, I bet that's what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I think your dim light is 10 feet or something, because I can see a square ahead of me, square and a half.
Okay, well, that's good then.
Okay.
So that means you need a light source.
Okay, I will cast light on my staff.
Is it pitch black in here?
I mean, well, there's no light sources in the cave, so obviously beyond the light, there we go. Now you can see some from the opening. Once you kind of part the bushes, you can see about 10 feet in, but then it is just completely dark.
I would like Corda to be ahead of me. She's going to be sniffing things out.
All right. So Darun, you should be able to now see the light in the cave.
I can't. I'm trying to get Cord ahead of me, but I can't because I'm in my way. Because of the doorway, I can't go around, but that's close enough for now.
Okay, so you want Quarter to be in front of you like that.
Yep.
Got it. All right. So Zinni, you see Darun has revealed and stepped into a darkened cave. He has cast light. What do you want to do?
So it's only a single individual wide?
Yes. You could, it is not that tall. The cave itself is only about, it varies about 5 to 6 feet tall, which means taller people.
I'll see you guys later. I'll wait out here.
We'll have to duck. You technically are not, you don't have to squeeze mechanically. It just means you'll be crouched some through here.
So
There's so much space here, guys. Oh.
Nice stab there, Ron.
So Zinnia is willing to fly on ahead, but cannot actually get through. I don't know why.
Because you can't go through this base and the way the doorway is set.
So there's
about 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So
answer about 20.
there's an invisible door there that prevented you from seeing inside it, and then okay. It's a whole thing. Zinnia, are you going to do anything to create light?
So I have dim light vision.
That doesn't emit light, so in pitch dark you can't see.
So it is pitch dark in here?
Well,
it
outside
will be once you're probably 15 to 20 feet in.
Pitch dark. Goblins can see in pitch dark?
No, nobody can see pitch dark.
They might have torches and whatnot.
This is just the entryway, and they
Okay.
have the lights turned off.
I'm gonna feel along the I'm not gonna turn on a light. I'm gonna fly along the ceiling with my fingers. So move me
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius. My light is.
until light.
Is it 20 bright and then how much dim?
It should be 10 bright and 10 dim, right? Is that what it says?
It just says 20. Like it says, casting bright light. Object glows, casting bright light in a 20-foot radius, and dim light for the next 20 feet, like a torch.
So she should be able to see for 40 feet, right?
All right, gotcha.
If there's no bends and stuff,
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to our technical roll 20 piece of the.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh! Now I
Are
see
your
something.
hands out like in front of you, like flying like this?
like this, touching the
there,
ceiling.
yeah, that's definitely.
Okay, now I
definitely.
can see something.
Okay, yeah.
While you're getting all that set up, Trunk will cast light on his spear as well.
Okay, so then I see a barrier.
So basically you go about 25 feet down this slightly curving cave tunnel that ends in a stone wall. Well, at the end of the cave. And you can see goblin footprints go right up to the back wall of the cave and just stop. And you can't see beyond it, but give me a perception roll as everybody else is creeping up, I assume quietly behind you.
I rolled a 19, which means that's a 21 because I added a point in perception.
Well, that makes sense. You've really come a long ways perceiving.
Oh no, I lied. I didn't add a point in perception. So that's just a 20. But still, that's a 20.
Still, yeah, that's commendable for you.
I'm really looking hard. I'm really looking hard.
All right. Well, in this case, it is not so much the looking as the hearing, as you can actually make out the sounds of quiet snoring somewhere through this narrow like crack between the barrier and the cave wall.
Mm. Oh, but I'm looking for a way to open this.
All right. Then, you're kind of studying. You study it, and you do find, well, what you said, 20?
Yes.
Okay. You do find that this back wall, it looks like the whole thing is probably a door, and it may pivot.
Oh.
And you do see like a latch that you could pull on the right side to release it.
Okay. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to fly back and tell everyone.
I'll go ahead and quietly release it.
Well, should maybe we... okay.
I got Tommy. Do you followed him in, or you?
I can't. Somehow there's an
I was trying to
invisible
wave you in.
barrier.
Come on.
So I would love to follow you, but my roll 20 is.
Being roll 20.
Yeah, I can't.
I think you got to go.
There you
a
go.
little bit.
Oh, there we go.
It's
yeah.
by square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I'm going to point Tommy.
uh-huh.
Oh, there's another door there that we can't get through.
And then I'm going to point to the latch.
Okay, I open the latch.
And then
No, I'm not in the position.
I'm going to
do that.
open the door slowly and quietly.
Okay. There we go. This is going to be so much fun.
Slowly and quietly. Slowly and quietly. Well, quietly as the door would let me, I could use some lubrication or something on the door. It could be really...
Well, amazingly, this is the one thing that they keep in good maintenance.
All right, there you go.
There's like one of the goblins is real particular about the hinges of this.
This door.
Yeah, he's the maintenance guy here.
Yeah.
He absolutely is, and it is actually an impeccable maintenance. So you gently pull the latch quietly. Give me a stealth.
Ooh.
You're kind of hoping to avoid that.
Yeah, I almost just let you get away with it, but
Almost.
Is this for the door? Or is this for?
This for him quietly opening the
Okay.
door. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, 15.
All right. So you pull the latch and you realize the door spins on a middle axis.
Oh.
So making the entry even a little more challenging.
How is Trunk going to get in
Trunk,
here?
I think I saw an apple tree out there somewhere.
No, seriously.
he can squeeze through.
He's on his hands and knees at this point.
No, he's not. Because you're 7'4". What are you? How tall are you?
I am
You have the narrow
7'4".
You have the narrow frame feet, right?
Narrow frame.
So
So he's just kind
at
of
5 foot,
he's
he's over 2 feet bent over.
yeah. You're kind of hunched, moving along.
Kind of.
I hope you did your squats.
Quads are burning today.
Yeah,
You might be better off on your hands and
I mean, realistically, yes. I'm crawling through this going, what am I doing? Got my spear in my hand.
With a
just ready to
giant
stab
spear,
forward.
it's going to be very
just have
awkward.
it pointing forward in this crawl attack.
Stabs me.
Okay, so once you've revealed the room beyond, you see a semicircular, about 15-foot diameter cave with pretty smooth floors in the places, but the walls are very rough. However, there's like an actual hearth that there's still some light embers, so he must have had a fire overnight, perhaps, but it has burned down. And there is a chair and a little side table, and there's a goblin there who has fallen asleep in the chair.
I've known Xenia to be stealthy in the past, so I'm going to point and like maybe move out of the way for you to go in if you'd like.
Oh, I already flew in.
Okay. So while I was doing that, she just right past me.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. The ceiling in here is a little taller too, by the way. It's about a 6 foot.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to bend over
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah, it's not terrible. But hanging from like something pounded into the ceiling is like a metal triangle, like a musical triangle, within reach of the sleeping goblin. And you can see it's got the little, yeah. So he could use the triangle and what is the term with that?
Sound the alarm?
Well,
Like the little sticky thing.
the
you
little
could do,
what is that called?
dinner time kind of thing.
Yeah, where you
Clang the alarm?
The clank.
Sound-
No,
what- I
what that
don't-
tool is like the stick.
Oh,
Just a
I
stick.
don't know.
yeah, okay,
Stick?
the stick,
The triangle sticky.
triangle sticky.
Like what is the called
I don't know. I figured that's
for
probably
the triangle,
called something.
the
Clanger?
instrument, right?
All of the people in band right now are like, "Oh my god, you people are dumb." Anyway,
It's
so
called, it says here, clanger. Yeah.
it is a clanger.
Dinner
Okay.
triangle with personalized clanger. I don't know.
And that fits in the goblin speak too. It's a clanger.
Yeah, so he's got a nice clanger there on the little table beside him. So yeah, he's fallen asleep, and you can see that he has like a heavy iron mace on his lap, and he is otherwise snoring, a trail of drool running down his face. So goblins, they're about 5 foot tall, kind of green skinned. And you can see this guy has quite the paunch, and he has a big fleshy white belly sort of hanging out under his leather armor.
I'm going to try. So is the clanger attached to the triangle?
Are they normally? I think they're normally.
Why? Don't ask me, DM.
What would a goblin do?
I don't know. I assume the clanger's probably.
You said it was on.
Yeah,
sitting on.
It's probably the clanger's probably just on the
table.
On the table.
I'm going to steal the clanger.
Okay. All right. Give me a stealth check. So Zinnia quietly flies over to the little table.
17.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and liberates the clanger for her own uses.
And I hand the.
And then you clang.
I was
She
so
can't
tough.
hold
I
it-
couldn't
can't
stop
hold it
doing
back.
I'm a fairy. I do these things.
No.
That would be a real pixie thing to do.
Exactly. I hand the clanger to Tommy.
All right. I will I'll hold on to the clanger. And I would like to stealth in one side. And what I would like to do is scoop the goblin up and like a chokehold. Because you said he was sleeping.
Oh, you're just gonna full on
Make him
grab
tap
him.
out. Yeah, put him in the sleeper.
Yep. I'm going to put him in the sleeper.
Okay.
It's got to be a move.
Wait.
you know?
Don't we want to get info from him first?
Well, he can be asleep, but then we can bind him up and whatnot, and
Okay.
He
you know,
doesn't have to be asleep for very long.
make him tap out. If anybody is an MMA fan, it's Tommy.
He does. He does seem like kind of an MMA
He's
guy.
I will. Okay. Zinnia is kind of slowly losing her crush on Tommy, just to let you know.
Oh.
Wow.
That's fine.
Greater expectations, I guess.
We
right?
all move on. Well, give me a grapple check.
Sure. Is that
You
just
add your CMB.
He's already asleep. How do you know you put him to sleep?
oh my gosh. It's a 12.
Okay, I mean he is sleeping, so this is.
I would assume that I would be able to scoop up a sleeping goblin.
Well, I mean, so he's not. So we should probably really reiterate this that in the world of Tellus, unlike many of the other fantasy worlds, goblins are not small creatures.
Yeah.
It's like they're small humanoids, but they're mechanically medium creatures. So
Sure.
the average goblin is between 4 and 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
So they're going to be almost all shorter than you,
Sure.
but they're not like little people. So
Okay.
What is that supposed to mean?
well, there are game and mechanical
I know,
differences
I know
from
what
the
you're
goblins that you're used to. That
All right.
The fact that Trunk is 7'4", but
Right.
technically a medium creature.
we don't think about those things too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him in the python.
So
hold.
I would like to put him in a sleeper hold.
Okay, then
Some people call it a chokehold because they're passing out. They're not sleeping.
Yeah.
But it's effective.
We came here to kill the goblins. Why
Right.
are we so worried that we're passing them out?
We're doing our best not to try to kill them, but it's information.
Well, I just don't want him to
Yeah, I got you.
ring the triangle.
we can't.
That's why I gave you the clanger.
Oh no, the sleeper
Right,
hold is
but I
on.
didn't know if he'd like kick the triangle or something.
Well, I could have stolen the triangle next.
There are some things that Tommy can do, and this is one of them.
Yeah, Tommy's going to be able to do this.
Okay, so you basically wrap your arms around the goblin's neck and you have him grappled, and it takes him a moment to wake up because he was really soundly sleeping.
Sure.
You actually you smell a little alcohol in his breath,
Uh-huh.
and you think that he probably was being derelict in his duties.
Sure. So this should make it easier.
Yeah. So
That's what I'm
he's
hearing.
very groggy, but his eyes do go wide and then begin to bulge as you're like wrestling him and trying to
Yeah.
pin him. Then he's going to try to resist that, but since you had that's a surprise round, and he was already grappled, you can make another attempt to pin him before he can react.
Sure. All right, that one's better. That's a 24.
Okay, so he starts to flail,
I'll come in and try to help him.
and you actually successfully pin him before he can have any chance of wiggling free. So you've now restrained him, and you're holding him around the neck.
Yep. And he's going good night.
It's like the non-lethal damage, I think
Yeah.
would be kind of. I don't know.
Yeah, there's actually.
I want to try to cover his mouth, but not with my hand because he'll bite me. I have a feeling. So, I just feel like he's a biter. So I'm going to grab like a piece of cloth or something I have on my part of my, and then put it over his mouth so he's not trying to scream at all.
Okay, you shove some dirty rags or whatever you have in his mouth as Tommy slowly chokes him out until he passes out.
Awesome.
Now, Tommy, give me another grapple check.
18.
All right, because it's actually very easy if you're not trained in these particular things to actually suffocate somebody versus just
Sure.
block their
Sure.
to actually put them asleep properly. So
Okay. Well, I got an 18.
all right. So you choke him out, and he goes limp in your arms.
Okay. Then I'll tie him up.
All right. You truss him up.
So, did you want to ask him questions now?
I mean, like, how many goblins are in here?
Sure.
Which way's the chieftain?
Maybe we could. You want to take him outside?
Trunk, like 15 feet into this cave on his hands and knees, just goes and starts crawling backwards.
So,
I'll go find another cave.
I'll take the goblin outside, so he can't get all yelly.
Okay.
And then
I like to create water over his head so it just starts pouring like a faucet to wake him up.
I'll grab the triangle on the way out.
There you go.
Okay. So you all quietly retreat back out.
goblin intel. We've got our goblin magic item.
And then you're all alertly standing over them or over him as you drip water on his face until he begins to come to.
Correct.
And you assume you still have him gagged?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then whenever he gets over the craziness, I'll take the gag out.
Yeah. He thrashes a bit. I assume you're going to say something to him.
Yeah. I'm going to say, we just got a few questions, right? So stop thrashing around, answer our questions, and we'll let you go.
All right. His deep yellow eyes narrow as he looks at you, and he kind of frowns, and then he'll kind of go still and just watching you.
So I'll take the gag out.
Okay. You remove the gag.
What's your name?
Give me an intimidation check.
Sure.
Could I have Corda assist?
You want Corda to aid in the intimidation?
I'm a wolf growling at your face might intimidate you.
That's 25.
Then I don't need to. Corda's just licking his face.
Tasting, I think, because that's what wolves do.
He sees the dangerousness in apparently in your tone and your eyes or whatever. So he feels cowed at the moment, clearly at a disadvantage. So he says, "Fish belly."
Fish belly, I'm Tommy. All right, we just want to have a conversation. It doesn't have to be like this. This is my friend Zinnia.
Hey there.
She's got some questions for you.
He'll kind of turn his head and look up at the fairy, like I assume just flying over him, waving.
So you're going to answer her questions, or you're going to answer my questions.
Fine.
So, how many goblins are in your compound?
Oh, so he would not want to answer that, but I'm going to go ahead and carry over Tommy's intimidation for this. So, but you see him like, how do you have his arms? like behind his back, or?
No, they would be out in front.
So it's
Just like this.
wristbound.
Yeah.
Okay, so his arms. So you see him start putting fingers like up one at a time and looking thoughtful, like he's trying to count. So he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, where was that? 11. I don't. Third. He runs out of fingers. 2 more.
We've got toes.
So 12.
More concerned with the fact that he ran out of fingers at 13.
When you say 12, then he like stops and says, wait, no, stinky grab. 13.
Okay.
Wait, 14. 13.
That's a good guesstimate.
Okay. So less than 20?
Oh, 20, large tribe.
Okay, so you're not a large tribe, you're a medium tribe. Okay, well that's great. And your chief is Gravelbeak?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, then that's great. And where can we find Gravelbeak?
He gestures towards the cave. Inside.
Okay, but once we're inside, which direction do we go?
He kind of looks at you and looks back at Tommy, who's assuming still just standing there menacingly.
Yes.
Follow cave to big cave.
Do you know your left and your right?
Yes.
So do you go to the left cave or the right cave?
Or is there just a one way to get there?
No, I saw that there was a left and a right fork.
Oh, okay.
Lots of turns.
Ask him about the fairy if he knows.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That's a great question. So, are you familiar with Unda? The river fairy.
Yes. No, didn't know her name.
Where is she?
She's in the big cave.
With Gravelbeak?
Yes.
Is Gravelbeak being nice to her?
That's just a relative, like they could be thinking what is nice and what is not nice.
She's alive.
Is she being kept in a cage?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Is the cage locked?
Yes.
Who has the keys?
The chief.
Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy your drinks last night?
He will. Yes.
Ask him about the flying bats.
Oh, yes. Do you know anything about the big flying bats?
You ask lots of questions.
I do. Because if I ask fewer questions, then Tommy will have to kill you.
Yeah, it means you're dead if she stops asking questions.
Yes, we have. Yes. Large bat.
Who rides the large bat?
Swoop.
Who's Swoop?
A goblin.
Oh, one of your tribe?
Yes, he trained 2 of them.
He trained 2 bats?
Very clever.
That is very clever. Where are the bats kept?
In the bat cave.
Where's the bat cave?
Oh no, he wants to say it. Underweight.
It's all one big cave. It's up though.
They hang.
It's climb. You from the main cave. Hard to get to.
Is Swoop the only one that rides them?
Yes.
Do they fly out of a different place in here?
Yes.
Up top?
Yes.
In the forest?
No. At the near the top of the wall.
Oh.
Is the wall climbable?
Not by me.
Okay. I was just thinking it might be an entrance we could.
Yeah, make it.
Plug up
Yeah,
or
take
use
advantage
or-
of. How old are you, Fish Belly?
don't know where I'm going with this line of questioning.
He starts.
Objection.
He pulls his fingers out again.
Oh, no.
Would you like us to knock you out again?
Why? Do you know why that the water? What are you using the water for? Why did you stop the fairy from making the water?
Chief wants to catch the fish.
That's it.
I mean, we already knew that, but
I
it's
know.
good to confirm
Yeah.
Why does he want to catch the fish?
because they're Tom and Jerry.
So, I mean, just as an aside, could we have caught the fish and brought the fish to the chief?
No.
Would that would have been
I mean, we could have asked Salvel, hey, how about this epic prank? We'll take you to the goblin lair instead of the goblin coming to you, and then we'll get him for good.
Yeah. Oops. Well, I mean, there is always more than one way to solve a problem.
That's right.
we have like 4 episodes of us fishing for something.
I mean, no, we'd go to Salvel and be like, yo, you're going to love this.
This crazy prank.
Roll diplomacy or bluff.
I got this spell that lets us breathe underwater, and I'm going to cast it in reverse.
So it's
And
just
we'll call it fish
he wants
bowl.
he wants the fish.
What does he want to do with the fish?
He wants to eat him.
Why?
Well, they have a lot of like fatty acids and omega
They're very
3s and
good. Very
things.
Oh,
good.
God.
It's actually quite good for you.
But there's lots of fish.
I'm going to
Why
start
do
crawling in the cave.
Yeah, that's a good question, though. Because could we just bring them another fish and
No, they have quarrel.
Oh, a quarrel. The fish says that they just have fun.
Fish think fun. Gravelbeak think no fun.
Oh, I see.
Gravelbeak has a big ego? Do you know what ego is?
Mm.
Thinks a lot of himself.
Gravelbeak is proud.
Wow, yes. Good
Mm.
chief. Strong.
Oh, I see.
Mm.
Who would be chief if Gravelbeak wasn't chief?
I'll throw a little seed of political mystique into it, huh?
Would it be fish belly?
Does Fishbelly want to be king?
Chief.
Chief? Sorry.
You've got, I mean, he seems like he's a little older.
Mhm.
He's
Well,
got
so
to be
yeah,
up there.
I mean, he didn't actually answer your question, but I mean, he's probably in his 30s, maybe.
Not like I know anything about goblin ages.
No, too much work. Too many complaining goblins.
Do you know which goblins go into the town to play tricks?
Mostly the kids.
Kid goblins? Because guess what? Maybe that's not funny. Do you think it that way? Like, the fish likes to play pranks on Gobblebeak, and Gobblebeak doesn't like that. But you play pranks on them, and they don't like that?
We're trying to teach morality to this goblin.
Hypocrisy. Yes.
Yes.
I am
Like-
calling you a hypocrite, Fishbelly.
This
Where
is-
are we going with this?
This is working really well. I can
I would
see
like
it.
to
what I
point.
expected.
I would like to point out your own hypocrisy.
This is.
But I don't know. I'm just asking questions right now because it seems like Zinnia's just like
Okay, I'm done with the questions.
Free form.
I am. I kind of ran out of questions, so I just was yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What is your animal spirit? If you were a dog, what kind
All
of
right.
dog would you be?
I
Yeah.
put fish belly back to sleep.
Yeah, I guess I'm done with them. Sorry. I got nothing else.
Well, I can't have you running after us, fish belly, so it's not night time.
He's like, you tie me up. I can't run.
Yeah, I put him to sleep. I'm not going to argue with him.
Like, how do you put him? You put him just to sleep, right?
Yep.
Not to sleep.
Not perma
I
sleep.
made the dead face. If anybody didn't know, I know this
Not
is audio only.
yeah. So yeah, I'll just put him to sleep.
Okay. I mean, he will wake up. I mean, he won't be out for
Well, if
super
we
long.
bind him up,
I mean, but you feel like you've tied him up pretty well.
let's tie him up to a tree.
Oh, can you
Oh, they've got these.
hang him from a tree?
I'm
Like,
so
Whoa,
glad I'm
whoa,
already
whoa,
crawling
whoa.
in the cave.
Yeah, I'll just tie him to something that is sturdy and
Outside.
outside.
I mean, you could tie him to the rope swing.
Put his muzzle back on.
Yeah, and gag him. And then,
Try to put him like on a leash. Is that like a tie down?
yeah, and then go back inside.
Oh my gosh.
I've got a hard.
Well, I
Yeah.
think we're being very nice about not putting him to sleep forever.
Well, I did say
I know.
that I would not kill him.
I know.
And
I
am
think
a
you're doing a
man
very good job.
of my word. All right.
Okay, so you've interrogated your first goblin.
It was a pretty good interrogation. We got a lot of answers.
Very thorough.
Yes.
Right.
He was very intimidated.
Yeah, well,
He was very.
it's one of the things that Tommy could
So,
do.
Zinnia, I was wondering, just as a thought,
Yeah,
if you could fly up to the bat hole.
I am scared.
Yeah, I would be too.
I don't want to fly to the bat hole.
I can't fly. Okay, I'm just wondering.
I think the bat would eat me.
Okay, well, as entertaining to me as all of this is, you guys are going to have to work on your strategies apparently for next week because this has really drug on.
Yeah, well,
sorry.
I don't
Wow,
even know.
you
Lots
just
of good
constantly
information.
drug on. Wow.
Well, no, just in a
No.
good way.
No. Okay.
Well,
I've
I
never
guess
heard drug on used in
we'll
a
make
good
it-
way.
We're just going to make it quick, and we're just going to go slaughtering goblins.
Yeah, this next part should go faster.
Unless they're invisible. They have invisibility.
Or they're sleeping.
Right.
Yeah.
They could be blink goblins. We're in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
All
Okay,
right.
thanks a lot.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks
all
for
your
listening.
creativity and the way you handle problems in a very different manner. So we'll see you guys
Bye.
Bye.
Next time.
for the goblins to the Bat Cave.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our show and want more, please leave us a rating and review on whichever platform you use. And of course, feel free to share us on social media. We'll be back next week with more adventures in the world of Tellus. To tide you over, you can read more about the cast, characters, and the world of Tellus at adventuresedgerpg.com. And if you're going out on your own adventure, remember, gathering intel can make the difference between success or failure, but so can asking the right questions. Stay safe out there.